Good day and welcome to the Trash Picture Show. Guys, I am looking back at figures I already reviewed. Why am I going back over figures I already reviewed? Well, to be honest, the reviews were kind of shite and I didn't feel I did these figures justice. And what are these figures? Well, these are the NECA Super Nintendo / Nintendo Alien 3 Runner and the NECA SEGA Genesis Predator 2 City Hunter. I done reviews of these guys already. And yeah, I was not one bit happy with those reviews. So I've decided to bundle them together and do a combined review. So yeah, these guys are from a line released by NECA that are essentially representative of licensed video games. So what you would get would be Jason from Friday the 13th, Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street, Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw, and the Terminator. And yeah, NECA were really clever because they took existing molds and simply changed the paint scheme to represent the graphical fidelity of those retro video games. The Freddy one is a bit too gaudy and bright. The Jason one is okay. I don't mind the purple too much. The Texas Chainsaw one is absolutely gaudy as fuck. And the Terminator one is okay. Again, these color schemes were meant to represent what they looked like on the video game screen. But the problem was you had these really serious, cool looking sculpts with like a really bright purple or a really gaudy orange or a really bright fluorescent green, and it took from them. However, I think with these two figures it works because you've got creatures, you've got something that could be any color, that could be representative of any color. You could get a xenomorph that is a bright fluorescent blue, or you could get a predator that has a really flamboyant color scheme. So they work for these guys, not so much for Freddy, not so much for Jason. That's in my opinion. If you've got those figures, guys, let me know in the comments. Do you like them? Do you think they were cool? But I digress. Back to these guys. So the first one we're going to have a look at is the SNES / NES Alien 3 Runner. And you're probably thinking, how the fuck are they going to show both versions from two different video games? Well, I'll show you. So, on the back here, it shows some pictures of the runner. And you'll notice one side is brown and one side is blue. The brown side is supposed to represent the SNES version of the runner. That was obviously a higher graphical fidelity than the NES, so they could get a lot more detail and make it look a lot more screen accurate. While the blue version is supposed to be the version from the NES. Again, they didn't have the same graphical fidelity, so they went with a brighter kind of catchier color for the NES version. It also had the blurb that would be on the back of the video game box. So let's see what it says here. The aliens are fast, spit acid, and are right behind you. The motion tracker is your only warning. No time to think, no time to catch your breath. Run. You can't see very far ahead in the dust. Hard to breathe, facehuggers can be anywhere. You have the firepower, blast the aliens with your machine gun, flamethrower and grenade launcher. You know what you have to do, rescue the trapped prisoners and end this nightmare. Just keep telling yourself it really isn't happening, it's only an action figure. So yeah, there is the back of the box. 30 points of articulation, almost 10 inches tall, bendable tail, extendable inner mouth, two-tone coloration. And so yeah, flipping it to the front and opening it up here. There is a graphic from the NES version, and there he is inside Nebuska, and there is a readout from the game. I think that's from the NES version as well. So I'm going to pause the video here and take him out of the packaging. Don't go anywhere. I shall be right back. Now here is the runner out of the packaging, and as I said before, this side is supposed to represent the SNES version. This is the Super Nintendo version with the two-tone brown color at this side. And yeah, I gotta say the sculpting is really nice in this guy. I'm loving the level of detail. They essentially took the sculpts of the standard figures and just repainted them these more vibrant colors to represent the video game versions. So yeah, I'll just go in there close to the face. And yeah, like all alien figures, he has a set of inner jaws that can come out and close in there and closes. And just really nice detailing on the body as well. There is a double hinge joint there at the leg, and another single joint here at this foreleg here, and there is a ball joint and a hinge joint here, and the arms can go outwards and pivot around like this. So yeah, that is that side, and now here is this side. This is to represent the NES version, which had a very bright blue color. They had a very kind of gaudy color because they didn't have the same graphical superiority as the Super Nintendo. So you got very bright sprites. And again, really nice detail in there. One thing I will tell you, if you ever played any of the Alien 3 games, the one that's most enjoyable is the Super Nintendo one. Why? A lot of the other ones had a fucking timer that you could never fucking beat. Even if you got past the first level, you would be goosed. Especially the NES version, that was a fucking nightmare. The Super Nintendo version was still difficult. They would throw enemies at you like there was no fucking tomorrow, but at least it was more enjoyable. Whereas the NES version was just a fucking absolute slog to play. Another cool thing about this figure is wire tail, wire bendy tail, so you can contort it into any way you want. As said before, because this is a creature, because this is an alien, the color scheme isn't that bad. I think it looks cool in this bright fluorescent blue. Again, I'll just do a close-up on this side. And if you turn him this way, he's kind of a Harvey Dent version of the Xenomorph. But yeah, the sculpting is really nice on this guy. There is good articulation. There is good movement in the legs, at the hips, in the tail. It's just an all-round gorgeous figure. And I had to get this as well because Alien 3, if you know me, you know I love that movie. It doesn't get next to near enough love as it should. It's a fucking great addition to the franchise. But yeah, he's pretty cool. So yeah, up next is the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis, for those of you guys who live in the United States, version of the City Hunter from the Predator 2 video game. So let's flip it to the back first and take a look at what we got. So there is the different features of the City Hunter. And you have a still, which I think was on the back of the Predator 2 video game as well. So let's see what this blurb, which was also on the back of the video game box, says. Silent, invisible, invincible. The Predator is in town with a few days to kill. It comes from a distant world, invisible. It's armed with powerful weapons unlike anything we know. It mercilessly stalks humans for sport. As Lieutenant Harrigan, it's up to you to rescue innocent people from the clutches of the evil drug gangs before they become trophies of the Predator. Yeah, that's one thing that always puzzled me in that video game. Why is the fucking Predator killing the hostages? These people are unarmed and tied up. And for some reason, the City Hunter decides to put him on the business end of his plasma caster. That always fucking bugged me, but it's a video game adaptation. I'm not going to get too fucking riled up. But yeah, before they become trophies for the Predator, search the streets, rooftops, and subways until you confront it. The Predator is on the hunt. Find him before he finds you. So yeah, there is the Predator. And I'm just going to open the box here. And yeah, that is one of the screens, the loading screens from the video game. And there he is in the windowed box. So I'm going to pause the video here. And when we come back, we'll take a closer look at the City Hunter. Don't go anywhere. I shall be right back. And we are back, and there is the Sega Genesis City Hunter out of the packaging. So before we look at the accessories, let's have a look at the City Hunter himself. Now, interesting thing is, this isn't representative of the Predator sprites in the game. This guy is actually based on the game over screen. When you die, this variant of the Predator turns up on screen and taunts you. So that's what he's from. He's not actually from in the game, but it's still a really cool color scheme to go with. As said before, because him and the Xenomorph are creatures, alien creatures, you can kind of get away with the more flamboyant and outlandish colors because they're aliens. So it kind of works for that regard. Whereas the likes of Freddy, Jason, and the Terminator, when you put them in neon colors, it definitely takes from the character. It doesn't look right. Whereas this does kind of work. But yeah, you've got a number of cool tones going on through this figure. You've got browns, purples, bright blues, really indicative of the graphics and sprite work that were in video games back then. But yeah, just going down there. And yeah, it's cool. Again, I like the speckling. I like the different colors. It pops. It does. It looks like a sprite from a video game. Articulation wise, he's based on some of the earlier sculpts of NECA's City Hunter, so he isn't as articulated as, say, newer versions of the figure. But they're still pretty solid. Still pretty good. You got a good range of motion in the arms there. You've got a nice bit of crunch in the waist and swivel there. The head can move somewhat. His plasma caster can move. The legs do have a double hinge joint for a bit more articulation. He can kind of do the Van Dams. And yeah, he's still a nice sculpted figure. Again, there's some really nice detailing. You've got the medicine pouch there, and the tunic, and the other pouches here. And the dreads are nice. I was going to go in there on the shoulder cannon. Really nice sculpt on the shoulder cannon there. And on his backpack. Again, the colours really make it pop. His wrist blades can go in and out, which is pretty cool. And yeah, he's just a really nicely sculpted figure. Not as sophisticated as the newer ones, as I said before, but still a solid figure. Accessory wise, he comes with 3 different accessories. The first being the combi stick. And like the figure itself, they've put a number of different colours going through it. There is a kind of bluish purple there with a lighter brown at this side. The only drawback is the plastic has warped over the years. And it fits into his hand there, no bother. Other accessories he comes with is this trophy. And again, they've gone for 2 different tones there. But the sculpting is really nice. And the last accessory he comes with is this smart disc. And they've got flushes of colour going through it, but by and large, it's kind of a static bronze with flecks of blue going through it. And like with other Predators, you can put it into the sheet on the side here, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, he's a pretty solid and cool figure. While not as articulate as the newer versions, I really like this guy. And we are back, and there is my NECA Alien 3 runner from the Super Nintendo game and the Predator 2 City Hunter from the Sega Genesis game in my alleyway, and yeah, I love them both. I think they work. Whereas the other figures in the range, the slashers and the Terminator and stuff, they don't work because the colours are too flamboyant for those characters. You can get away with these 2 guys because they're aliens, because they're creatures. You could get a Predator with a very bright kind of blue colour scheme, or you could get a Xenomorph with a very bright colour scheme. Whereas with slashers, it looks odd. With these guys, it works. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you think I'm biased because I love the franchise? I think with these guys, it just works. But yeah, which do you prefer, guys? Do you prefer the Sega Genesis City Hunter or the Super Nintendo Runner Alien? Let me know in the comments below. And did you play either of these games or any version of these games on any platforms? Let me know that in the comments below as well. My name's Martin. This has been the Trash Picture Show. And yeah, have a good one. Take care. Bye now.